name is Diego, and I am presenting this tool of Terra Antiqua. It's called Modified Topo Bathymetry. In this video, you will see a summary of its functionality, the user interface and the dedicated page in the manual, step-by-step indications, and some final considerations and important parameters. In the Terra Antiqua YouTube channel, you can find similar videos for the other tools. They are also accessible from the manual. Modified Topo Bathymetry is a primary tool. This means it's part of the main reconstruction workflow. It works together with another primary tool called Create Topo Bathymetry. Both are meant to edit the topography or bathymetry in given areas that you have to define. Then, these tools allow you to concentrate on those areas of interest and edit the local topography or bathymetry with precision. The order in which you use these tools is up to you. Here, I will work with Modified Topo Bathymetry. There is another video dedicated to Create Topo Bathymetry. The link is in the description and in the manual. Click on the icon of the tool and this dialog pops up. The text in the right will help you understand parameters. It has detailed information about everything you see here. On the left, there are the combo boxes for the input files and different parameters. If you click Help on the lower left-hand corner, you will go to the manual. This is a static website with all the documentation about Terra Antiqua and step-by-step indications for each tool. Here you have all the info about the tools, technical details, warnings, and even guiding tips. It works as a complement of the help text in the tools dialog I showed before. This is the page for Modified Topo Bathymetry. For the rest of the video, I will follow these step-by-step indications. This tool is useful to modify the elevation of regions that were not too different from the present day. It will rescale the values using a given formula, but keeping the original elevation pattern. Feel free to pause this video at any moment and take your time to read these paragraphs and the help text on the tool, since they are much more detailed and include some specific recommendations. The first thing you need is the input data. This consists of the compiled DEM with the right paleo shorelines and a set of polygons marking the areas where you want to modify the topography. Here I will use files that are ready from the Terra Antiqua sample data bundle for a global 30-mail reconstruction. It's available for download from the manual website. Let me remind you that this tool is complementary to Create Topo Bathymetry. They can be used before, after, or instead of each other. Once the input files are selected, you have to set up the parameters. There are two options here, using a custom formula or a simple linear rescaling with a new maximum and minimum elevation. You may pause the video now and take your time to read the description of these two options in the help text and the manual. Here, I am using the rescaling with minimum and maximum option. If the shapefile you are using contains more than one polygon and you don't want to use the same parameters for all of them, you can define different elevations or formulas in the attribute table and then choose the option to retrieve the data from the attribute table. In this file, from the sample data bundle, the attribute table is already populated with data extracted from the literature. You can either define an output file path or use a default one, which will create a file in the temporary folder of your system. This is the result. You can see that the areas defined by the polygons have been rescaled. Now the map is ready for the next step. If there are regions where you need to use a more radical approach, where you would create topography from scratch, ignoring the pre-existing one, use Create Topo Bathymetry to deal with those other regions. You may have noticed that this map doesn't look very realistic. This is because it's only an example of Modified Topo Bathymetry tool. If you want to see a real reconstruction, you can go to the video that explains the combined use of Modified Topo Bathymetry and Create Topo Bathymetry. Link at the end of the video and in the description. In the manual, you can also see different recommendations and ways to use this tool if you want to combine modification modes, for example.